How significant is your life? Do you make a difference when you move, when you act? When you do something, does the universe notice? Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, do you really matter? In 1963, Edward Lorenz presented a hypothesis to the New York Academy of Science. His theory simply stated that a butterfly could flap its wings. In doing so, it will set molecules of air in motion, which will move other molecules of air, in turn moving more molecules of air, eventually capable of starting a hurricane on the other side of the planet. Everyone laughed. What Mr. Lawrence was proposing was ridiculous. His idea became known as the butterfly effect, a term that for many years was only used in science fiction, comic books, and bad movies. Can you imagine the surprise when more than 30 years later, scientists and physicists from colleges and universities worldwide came to the conclusion that the butterfly effect was authentic, accurate, and viable? So what does that mean? That means that every single thing you do matters. Not only to you, or your family, or your business, or your hometown. Everything you do matters to all of us forever. Please allow me to illustrate. On Friday, April 2nd of 2004, NBC News honored a 91-year-old man named Norman Borlaug. He won the Nobel Prize and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So what did he do? Well, in the 1940s, Norman Borlaug was able to hybridize the seeds of corn and wheat so that they could grow in dry climates. It has been estimated that through the years, Norman Borlaug has saved more than 2 billion lives and counting from starvation. That is amazing. That's almost 1/3 of the whole world population. 2 billion lives. But you know, I personally think that the person who actually saved 2 billion lives was not Norman Borlaug. It was Henry Wallace. You see, in the 1940s, Henry Wallace was the former Secretary of Agriculture and the current Vice President of the United States. And he had a passion for plants. So he used his power in office to open up a station in Mexico with the sole purpose to hybridize the seeds of corn and wheat. And he hired a young man named Norman Borlaug to run the program. So if you think about it, it was actually Henry Wallace who saved 2 billion lives, unless it was George Washington Carver. You see, when George Washington Carver was 19 years old and a student at the Iowa State University, he had a professor that would allow his 6-year-old son to go on botanical expeditions with him. It was George Washington Carver who instilled in that 6-year-old boy a love for plants and a vision as to what they could do for humanity. And yes, that 6-year-old boy was Henry Wallace. So if you think about it, maybe it was George Washington Carver who saved the 2 billion lives. Unless it was the farmer from Diamond, Missouri. His name was Moses, and he was white. And even though he lived in a slavery state, he didn't believe in slavery. So one Sunday, members of the KKK came to his farm. They burned the barn, they shot several people, and they took hostage a black woman named Mary Washington and her infant son, George. But you see, Mary Washington was best friends with Moses' wife, Susan. So Susan contacted the nearby farms, and she was able to set up a meeting with the members of the KKK to rescue the infant boy because his mother, Mary Washington, had been killed already. So Moses took the only horse they had, and he traded it for that infant boy. And he brought him home. Him and his wife gave him an education in honor of his mother, and they also gave him their last name, Carver. So if you think about it, maybe it was Moses who saved the 2 billion lives, or perhaps Susan. Unless, is there an ending to this story? How far back do we need to go to find the person responsible for saving 2 billion lives? But more importantly, how far forward do we need to go into your life to show the difference you make? There are generations of people who haven't even been born yet, whose very lives will be shifted and shaped by the moves you make and the actions you take today and tomorrow and the next day and the next. Everything you do matters. You were created as one of a kind. There has never been one like you, and there will never be again. The very beating of your heart has purpose and meaning. Your actions have value far, far greater than silver or gold. Your life and what you do with it today matters forever.